Hello everyone, my name is Deborah and I am from Slation College, Sunada, Department of Mass Communication, second semester. The topic for today is Media Regulation, which is under CC4, Media Ethics and Law, Unit 4. So let's begin. What is media regulation? The media regulation that I will be discussing is the public means of mass communication, especially the press, radio, and television. But it also includes film and recorded music as well as a number of newer means of distribution by the way of cable, satellite, disc, and tapes. Now, media regulations are nothing but the rules which are enforced by the jurisdiction of law. It is the control by the government of mass media text. They are the rules that protect the public interest and what certain audiences can and cannot view. It is needed. Why? Because media affects our lives and what we consume is determined by the media we intake. So, now why did media regulation come about? There have been many cases or issues which are being caused by the media, such as many cases on violence. The theory that those who are exposed to the media involving violence at a young age grow up to show violent behavior. Now it came about for the protection of others to make sure that things which are being broadcasted were not offensive, demeaning, or against the basic norms and rules or morals. The British Board of Film Classification (BBFC) was founded in 1912. It is a non-governmental organization but works in media regulation by assessing films and videos and giving them a national certificate of what age range is suitable to consume the content. Now, further on, there are three different kinds of media regulations. Number one is regulation of the media content. Secondly, regulation of media access and distribution. And thirdly is regulation of ownership. Now, there are some principal foundations of the media regulation. One is balance between the positive and negative defined liberties. The negative defined liberties legislating the role of media institutions in society in securing their freedom of expression and publication, private ownership, commerce, and enterprise must be balanced by legislation, ensuring the positive freedom of citizens of their access to information. Now, secondly is balance between state and market. Media is at a position between the commerce and democracy. These require the balance between rights and obligations. To maintain the contractual balance, society expects the media to take their privilege responsibly. Now, so what is media accountability or responsibility? Media accountability is a phrase that refers to the general belief that mass media has to be accountable in the public interest, that is, they are expected to behave in certain ways that contribute to the public good. So, the backbone of any democracy is an independent, professional, and responsible media. Their role is therefore to inform, criticize, and stimulate debate, but with clarity, fairness, accuracy, and honesty. So, in our view, the only valid justification for declining a news story is that in a medium limited by time and space, another news story was simply more important to the people of the community, whether local, national, or international. While admittedly a subjective process, it is nonetheless a process to be undertaken by the news people themselves, not the managers and the CEOs of their parent company. No professional journalist or researcher should ever have to face the destruction of his or her career simply because they wanted to tell the truth. While no two people will always agree on what story is more important than another, a system where the working reporters and editors run the newsroom would at least provide a fertile environment for debate, dissent, and critical thinking. Now, the growth of independent media and journalism in recent years shows that the people throughout the world yearn to hold not only their leaders accountable but their media sources as well. For that reason, the Project Censored research program continues in its small way to support and highlight those who tell the truth about the powerful, no matter what the consequences, and are relentless in their quest to hold big media accountable for their decisions. Moving on to censorship. Censorship is the suppression of speech, public communication, or other information on the basis that such material is considered objectionable, harmful, sensitive, or inconvenient. Censorship can be conducted by governments, private institutions, and corporations. Government and private organizations may engage in censorship. Other groups or institutions may propose a petition for censorship. Now, when an individual, such as an author or other creator, engages in censorship of their own works or speech, it is referred to as the self-censorship. It occurs in a variety of different media, including speech, books, music, films, and other arts, the press, radio, television, and the internet for a variety of claimed reasons, including national security, to control obscenity, child pornography, and hate speech, to protect children and other vulnerable groups, to promote or restrict political or religious views, and to prevent slander or libel. Direct censorship may or may not be legal depending on the type, location, and content. Many countries provide strong protection against censorship by law, but none of these protections are absolute, and frequently a claim of necessity to balance conflicting rights is made in order to determine what could and could not be censored. There are no laws against self-censorship. So, lastly, I would like to talk about what is the social responsibility of the media, or what social responsibility does media have. Yes, so the media is considered to be the fourth arm of a democracy, the fourth state, and the most powerful one, to the others being legislative, executive, and judiciary. In addition to providing entertainment and information, media plays a pivotal role in shaping public opinion and cultivating perception in the minds of common man. Yes, be it the case of condemning social evil, corruption, criticizing the state taken by the government, or exposing fraudulent activities of the corporate sector, media strikes fear in the heart of every wrongdoer. No wonder the famous saying, "The pen is mightier than the sword," which rings true to this day. Having said that, It is high time that media realizes that with power comes a lot of responsibility. As we all have heard that freedom lies with responsibility. Yes. So, the most important responsibility of the media is to report the truth with courage after thorough investigation. It is not uncommon to see communal riots, civil wars, and basically peace being threatened due to the media reporting. The tendency to sensationalize and the pressure to meet deadlines lead to inaccuracies in news report. None can deny that the threat of advertising revenues is influencing media output. Those who control considerable wealth have the opportunity to sway public opinion in their favor with the help of mass media. So, the social responsibility theory of media moves beyond the simple objective reporting, that is, facts reporting, to interpretative reporting or investigative reporting. So, investigative reporting is therefore the need of the hour. Otherwise, public tends to become skeptical about the accuracy of the news they read or hear, which is not a healthy sign for the media industry. Thank you. That's all for today.